Hi, I'm Sarah Forster, Deputy News Editor at The National, and this is A Closer Look. Now, this week we are talking about rain. We've had a lot of it so far this week, and there is still a lot more to come, although you can see the streets just drying out briefly behind me for now. The UAE is no stranger to rain. We get about 25 days of rain a year, which can accumulate in up to 240 millilitres of rainfall. Now, what a lot of people are wondering is this natural precipitation? Or is the government's well-known cloud seeding program involved? I caught up with one of our reporters earlier to find out. Well, with me now is Anjana Sankar, one of our reporters here at The National. And Anjana, you attended the International Rain Enhancement Forum this week. Very appropriate for the week of weather that we're having.
Absolutely.
Now, let's just sort of take it back to begin with and just explain to anyone that might not know just exactly what cloud seeding is.
Okay, so every time it rains, we think that it's because of cloud seeding. We don't know whether it's because of cloud seeding or not. But just to explain simply what cloud seeding is, it's a scientific process to modify weather. It's a rain enhancement program, and UAE has been doing it since decades. So what we basically do is we shoot some salt flares into the clouds, and you can't do it to any cloud. So there's also a notion that, are we making clouds to rain? We are not. You need existing clouds which are very amenable, which will behave when you inject salt flares into it, so that we can accelerate the process of condensation and then it will start to rain. So basically we all know, it's a basic science we learned in school, that clouds are formed of tiny droplets or ice crystals. So when they induce salt crystals into these specific clouds, what happens is it will attract more tiny water particles so that they will combine together, they will swell in weight, and then finally the heavens open. So that's how it rains, and that's how cloud seeding helps in precipitation and raining.
I'm having high school flashbacks right now.
Yes.
So you need a well-behaved cloud.
Yeah.
And you shove some salt into it, basically. I know a lot of people sometimes worry that it's like a chemical rain, if it's something they should be concerned about. Is it still natural rain?
Yeah, so basically what the official said is the cloud seeding or rain enhancement science technologies that the UAE pursue is completely working with the nature and not against it. So there's nothing to worry about. It's totally safe. Yeah.
Well, that's good to know. So dancing in the rain is still a possibility, nothing to worry about.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So, Anjana, we're seeing obviously a lot of rain at the moment. How much of this rain is due to cloud seeding?
Okay, that's a tricky question. Again, I asked this question to the official, and if you look at any research or data, not just in the UAE, because there are many countries around the world that are doing cloud seeding, it's not possible to accurately predict or attribute how much or what percentage of rain that you get is because of cloud seeding, and it's the same. So, what he told me is you need at least data of 10 to 20 years before you can predict accurately how much of this rain is because of the cloud seeding that you did. So that's a very tricky area. Let's not go there. But what we know is when you do cloud seeding, you can increase rainfall from 10 to 30%. That's the general scientific agreement on it. But we don't know how much of it is happening in the UAE. It's an ongoing process. There's a lot of research, there's a lot of innovations happening in the field currently.
So basically, we can't ascertain whether this one raindrop was a result of cloud seeding, but we do know that there is now more rain since the program started in the 90s, right?
Yeah, UAE is one of the pioneers in rain enhancement program, and we have been working on it with various organizations and institutions around the world. UAE actually has a rain enhancement science research award program, which is on the 5th cycle, and every year, every cycle, we are on the 5th cycle now, they give $1.5 million worth of funding for research institutes to come up with more innovative technologies where you can identify clouds and make cloud seeding more technologically driven. So far, UAE has given out $18 million worth of funding for 11 different projects. And this is spread across various organizations and researchers across the world. So it's almost like everybody coming together to address the issue of water scarcity because that's a global problem. UAE definitely being part of one of the most arid regions in the world, water scarcity is a critical issue for us.
Yeah, well, this was something I was going to ask as well, is that clearly they want to make it rain here, right? Yeah. But the question is why? Like, it's the desert. Surely it just doesn't rain in the desert. That's the natural state. What is the purpose of trying to get so much rain?
Yeah, I take an offense to that question because we all love rain. I come from a place where, we have rain around the year and everybody's happy despite the inconveniences rain caused. It's very nostalgic. But, coming to the point of why do we need rain? Because as I said, being in an arid climate and where the fresh groundwater reserves are depleting. A lot of reasons: global warming, increase in population, and we are also a diversifying economy. So the pressure on the need for potable water, on drinking water is huge. So, traditionally we have been counting on desalination, which is very expensive and also it causes a lot of emissions. So UAE has a target to reduce water consumption because we have one of the highest per capita of water consumption in the world. So we are targeting to reduce our water consumption by at least 30% by 2025. But while doing that, we need fresh groundwater reserves. We need to protect that, and also we need more fresh potable water. So that is why rain is so important, so that we can have better yields for crops, and we have enough water to cater to this increasing demand of a growing population in the UAE. And it also affects tourism, it also affects our weather. So in every which way you look at it, we need more rains. Let the skies open. Yeah.
That's fair enough. I mean, everything often here does come back to sustainability, doesn't it? So I'm not surprised that, although I wouldn't have initially linked cloud seeding to the sort of sustainability mission that the Emirates is on, but clearly it all ties together.
Yeah.
Before we finish, can you hit me with some numbers? I know that there's been a huge difference in the number of planes going up, for example. Do you know anything about that?
Yeah, we know that UAE has been doing cloud seeding, and we are upping the game every year with the new technologies. But if you look at the numbers, this year alone, we are in just end of January. There were 35 flights that already took off to the skies. Yes.
That's more than one a day.
That's more than one a day. And if you look at the numbers in 2022, we had more than 311 cloud seeding flights were deployed. And annually, more than 1,000 flying hours is what we use for cloud seeding purposes. So when you talk about 311 flights, and the numbers were almost similar in 2021 too, you're talking about almost one flight a day. And each flight or each operation takes around 3 to 4 hours. And we are doing it from the Al Ain airport. So the pilots are waiting and they have to be on call anytime because you cannot predict. So we have these supercomputers, data, and weather forecasters are all, 24 hours they are monitoring this data to see which cloud, when and where is the right time, so that they can take off and inject these clouds with salt particles so that we have more rain. So it's a very complicated process, but very technologically driven.
I'm imagining a plane hangar out there somewhere with an alarm that goes off when there's a cloud in the sky, and they all run to the plane and shoot up.
And then we have rains and we have to take our umbrellas out.
Exactly.
Yes.
I had to dig around for my umbrella today, I'll be honest with you. I did not remember where it was, but I'm glad that I found it. Yeah. Right, well, thank you so much for coming in, Anjana. So that's it for our latest episode of A Closer Look from right here in the newsroom. If you'd like to suggest a topic for a future Closer Look episode, please leave your comments below. And don't forget, all of our previous episodes are available on the National's YouTube channel.